But yeah, like, no, if I work in the office, I just know I wouldn't be an office siren because I wouldn't want that kind of attention.
Yeah.
But I would be the office showgirl. You would know I'm there.
The personality hire. Like the peak.
It's like as long as my like attire like fits dress code, I'll be showing up in pinks, purples, pastels.
Oh yeah.
Glitter.
Barbie.
Yeah.
You are
like that's my thing.
Girl boss Barbie.
Is I would want to bring some joy to an office building.
As you should.
I don't think I'm ever going to work in an office building unless I decide to go into law, which then like work in a law firm but I just feel like
in a law firm. She's a secretary at a law firm when she got pregnant with my sister.
But see, for me, it's just like I'm just like, I'm a baby. Even if I'm going to be like late 20s, I'm a baby.
Yeah.
I can't be doing this big job like law. Like that's a big goal job.
Computer. You're auto like computer quickly. Tell me how to do my job.
Girl, it's scary. It's a scary world out there.
It is a scary world out there. Honestly, I don't blame you. And speaking of scary, perfect segue to our episode. Oh my gosh. Hello. Welcome to She Knows It with
Alex
and Izzie. Today we're going to be reading some spooky Reddit stories. Specifically, I think they're mainly from r/true scary stories because I wanted to get real ones, or allegedly real ones at least. I didn't want like copy and pasted like creepypastas or like ones that like you can tell like they're probably not real. I wanted ones that at least felt okay, this is probably a real experience because like paranormal. I love a little bit of a paranormal experience storytell, you know? I'm so excited.
I love spooky scary stuff. When Corpse was doing his like spooky scary like story readings, I would like listen to other like horror story readers, I guess, and that would be my bedtime. I would go to sleep to them.
That's very fitting. I've gone to sleep to like Bo's true crime reaction content. I love that.
I've gone to sleep I've gone to sleep to police body cam arrest footage. Which is like Bo's like best body cams.
I love
it's
that.
Like that.
Yeah.
And I've gone to sleep to those, and whenever I say that to someone, they're just like, those are like really loud and like abrasive and like
they are so
and I'm just like I disassociate and I like numb it out. It's just noise. It's just constant.
That is telling of you. That is very telling.
But so anyways, but yeah, if a police officer does like approach me in public, I just cry. It's even if they're just asking me if I'm okay, I just cry.
I'm scared of authority. Very scared of authority. Terrified even.
I'm scared of authority also because like they kind of have mean faces, which sorry,
not to
love you guys,
not to stereotype, but like a lot of them do have mean faces.
I've interacted with have really mean faces, and even if they're just asking you like, "Oh, are you okay?" Because it always happens when I'm traveling by myself, or I was when I was like a little bit younger. Because obviously like I look a bit younger, and it's kind of like hard.
You were shouty.
How old I am. Yeah. But I would be like not doing anything wrong, and they would approach me and be very like mean face in a very like strong tone, I guess. And I'm just like, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. I don't know what you want.
It wasn't me, officer. I swear. I'm not asking if you did anything. It wasn't me, officer. I swear. Yeah, no, I completely understand that. I'm scared of authority. Authority makes me like cry. Like genuinely, like even if it's like not that bad of an interaction, like I just like I get so nervous that somehow I did something wrong without knowing.
Being on a lawyer, girl, traumatizing.
I bet.
I had to be around a couple like male lawyers, and like it was like they were like consultations like for like random stuff, and I'd be around them, and I would rather honestly walk to a police station. Yeah, a gaggle of cops versus
a gaggle.
Versus singular.
That is the factual name of a group of police officers.
Okay, The only reason I was thinking that was because I really fell down like the like wildlife section of Instagram with like the
Me.
lion. This guy lives with lions.
Yes.
And
Yes.
like
They cuddle
I
him.
just fell all the way down that like rabbit hole. And so
Yeah.
I'm just on
I love the names
animal
of groups of
safari Instagram,
animals.
I guess.
They're so creative. Oh, a cat has broken into the bedroom. Hi, baby. Hi, sweet girl.
She wants to be a part of it. She wants to be
She is
part
going
of
to be
Scary
part of the
Story.
spooky stories. Please don't do that while I'm reading spooky stories. Okay, I'm a scaredy cat, guys. I'm gonna warn you guys. I am a I'm a scaredy cat. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this episode. I was the one to pick out the stories. I didn't read them already, but I did like skim the first like paragraphs of each of them and found some juicy titles that I felt like would be fun to read. Because I specifically wanted to not read certain types of scary stuff because I get so paranoid and I have really vivid nightmares. So, fingers
Makes
crossed
sense.
we're recording at night today.
See, okay, it is night for me. Like it is
But it's
almost
summer,
8 p.m.
so
when we
sunset's late.
are recording. But yeah,
Yeah.
also the way my window faces is it's directly towards the sun pretty much
Yeah,
all
it's
day.
8. It's like almost 8 for you. It's almost 9 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're long distance besties.
I know. We had a whole episode about that, guys. If you want
Yeah.
to check them out.
8 years of friendship. You should check it out.
It's
Anyways,
literally half our life.
I know. Well, not
Well,
yet. Almost.
almost.
Because
Well,
in 2 more
working on it.
years. In 2 more years. Well, no, because in 2 more years we'll be 2 years older. Roughly. 2 more
Yeah,
years.
roughly. I'm rounding up. Like 2 rounding
Yeah.
up. You know, it's
2,
like when
maybe
people
3
say
years.
like 58, like 50 degrees, it was like, oh, it's 60 degrees.
Yeah. We're rounding
Just
up.
round up.
Loose numbers, honestly. But
And if you don't
anyways,
round up,
if you don't round up, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't want to ever ask you
And
to
okay,
try,
but also girl math, like when I see like a price in a store, I round down. Like no matter how close it is to the next number up.
see, I round up. I
Well,
round up.
If it's like 99 cents, I just round up to like say it's like 1.99. I round up to $2, right? But like if I'm like
Oh
doing
no,
the
I
math
go
in
to
my
the
head,
extreme. I go to the extreme. If it's like $24,
it's
I'm like,
30.
okay, $30.
Oh damn. Because then
So
I guess
low
then you're
key,
pleasantly surprised by the price when you get to there.
yeah.
See, I just
And
look away.
then that also like and that keeps my buying down.
That's really smart, honestly.
'Cause
I should do that
I'm
more
like,
often.
oh my gosh. It's like I like have like 5 items. I was like, oh, it's like $130, like $30. I go to the register and it's only like 85.
That's great. Honestly, I should do that. I do the opposite where like I'm like, okay, that's like $2, blah blah blah. And then I'm like, well, it's actually like $58 if I added it all up in my head. But like it's just $50. And then I go
do
to the
that for
cash
stuffed
register and then
animals.
because of tax it's like 60 something dollars. And I'm like, well, it's still $50 in my head.
I do that for stuffed animals and I do that for like snacks. Like artisanal snacks that like the gummy
Girl.
bears are like $70.
Me. Girl, I got like
I
a
don't know who created.
artisan, I don't know what it's called. It's a fancy chocolate bar. Earlier today, and I'm excited to try it. It's made in Portland, Oregon, which I've been there.
No, I'm gonna be like really like honest here, right? I will hold a flute of champagne walking around in a nice floor length red dress at a really nice like party, but you better bet your bottom dollar I do not like the taste of it. I will find a like secluded corner down that shit really quick
Like a
and then
shot.
like and then be like, oh, I'm done. I don't want to drink anymore. I'm trying to be,
I'm
demure.
sober. I'm demure. I'm mindful.
But yeah, so like the artisanal like gummy bears that are like champagne flavor. Who buys them? Who likes them?
No one. And here's the
And
thing.
if you do, you're 70. I don't care. Your taste palette is 70. You're 20. Your taste palette's 70.
Your taste
Old
palette is
woman.
old. Sorry. Like,
Yep.
listen, I don't drink. I'm 20. So this is just, in my imagination that I'm saying this from. This is just make believe, okay? This next sentence. I actually like champagne, but I prefer other things over it by a lot. You know?
Here's my thing. Normally, champagnes are served at parties. Normally, I'm in a tight dress because I'm trying to look cute. Normally, I haven't eaten because I'm in that said tight dress. So normally, that dry, sometimes fruity, I like the fruity champagnes a lot more. But sometimes that dry, bubbly substance goes right into an empty stomach.
Also, a lot of champagnes aren't actually champagne because champagne is specifically from Champagne. And so a lot of champagnes are actually not champagne. And so people can get away with calling things like a champagne-like thing, even though it's not. And so, like, for, like, parties, they typically buy the cheaper stuff because they're going to be serving so much of it. Unless it's, like, obviously, like, a very, very nice party. Couldn't be me. No, I'm not there. But,
Low key, though, I love a good, like, fruity white wine.
Ooh.
Better. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not a wine girly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I don't know.
I'm not a red. I'm not a red wine. And I'm not a wine girly either, but there's this one specific wine from, I think, Rome.
Oh.
I went to a wine tasting.
When in Rome.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously for your birthday, when we go together, I will show you that.
Yeah. 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 That sounds great. Honestly, my birthday's not that far away.
Yeah, it isn't, so it's fine.
It really isn't. And you need to come visit me, so.
Yeah. But no, it's really good. It's like really sweet. It has like a really sweet aftertaste. It's not dry.
Oh, per.
Really good.
Yeah, I don't like the drier undertones, nodes, whatever it's called.
It tastes almost like sugary syrupy. So it's really like dessert wine, if that makes sense.
Okay, per. I like that. Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds
and
fun.
It pairs really good with like a lot of different things.
Allegedly, I've had plum wine before, and that's the only
Ooh.
wine I actually really like enjoyed, because it's a very sweet wine. Allegedly, I wouldn't know.
I don't like the like bitter, dry wine that used to like that 30-year-old like refined man.
My sister's a wine
I'm
girly. Like she loves wine, and I'm like, I can't. I'm sorry.
I can't. Maybe it really is like you have to like age into that, like age into that taste palette. But I don't know. My taste palette hasn't aged. So.
She's been drinking that since she was 21. Totally just 21. So like, you know.
I mean, a lot of states have like you can drink with your parental consent. So.
Oh yeah, so totally she was around parents. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, allegedly.
These are just jokes. This is LARPing. I don't know what you guys are on about.
You're just yapping here. Don't pay attention to us.
This is literally a comedy podcast.
Yeah, like we are not serious here. Unless we
are
slash
S, is that like sarcasm? The tone indicator? I think it's /S.
Yeah.
/S on everything we say. Everything.
Literally. Okay, so since you have like a really like beefy one, do you want to go first or in the middle?
Ooh. I'm trying to think of which one would be the best like opener, you know?
Opener. I mean, we've yapped for our good.
We have yapped for a solid 13 minutes now.
Yeah. So we're the opener at this point.
We're the opener. I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first just because I'm itching to know what this story is so desperately.
Okay,
I have no clue. But I've been to this place many times. I love this place. And it honestly ropes into us talking about like alcohol and partying because we're talking about New Orleans in this story. The title is My New Orleans Experience. Okay. This is a long one, so buckle in, guys.
Also, side note, the only New Orleans experience that I'm aware of is like the beads for the titty popping.
That's iconic. Honestly, I've never participated in that because I was underage.
Me neither.
Most of the times I went there, but
I haven't done it, but I witnessed it.
Honestly,
and
iconic.
All I'm saying is like it is a viscerally real experience.
Like, honestly, I'd give any woman who flashes me a lot of things. So
it's like a random man walks up with some beads. It's like, honestly, it's like a little coin shaking, like pennies.
Titties.
And they do it. And I'm like, okay, I know you are like heavily inebriated. This is probably the most inebriated you've been in years.
Mm-hmm.
Howard to you.
Mm-hmm. 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 Anyways. This is an account of some events that happened to me 2 years ago in New Orleans. I haven't spoken about this to anyone. Like me, my friends, and family are not believers in the paranormal. I just don't have any explanation for what happened to me. A few years ago, I took a series of jobs in hospitality as a way to travel to different parts of the US. In 2022, I took a position at a small hostel in New Orleans. The hostel is a beautiful Victorian house just on the edge of the French Quarter, and I was really excited about using it as my base to explore the city and the state of Louisiana. Like most old houses, the building had some quirks. You know how wood settles in old houses. Sometimes there would be a sound, like there were footsteps upstairs. Guests in room 3 would always come down to reception to check if there was a problem with their air conditioning. That room was always cold. I remember the Yale lock at the front door would start whirling for no reason, despite changing the batteries and the lock itself. It was a few weeks into my stay there that things began to get strange. It started with the candlestick. It was autumn, and since the peak season has now been over, we decided to deep clean the house, including the top floor, which is not open to guests. I remember reaching up to dust the top of a bookshelf when my hand hit something. There was a sudden crash that made me freak out that I had broken something. I knocked something heavy sounding off of the top bookshelf, and it had fallen, luckily, into an open cardboard box instead of denting the wood floors. I looked at it, turning it around in my hand. It was covered in cobwebs and what looked like rust, but I could see that underneath all of that was a beautiful, ornate candlestick holder. I put my hand up on the top of the bookshelf again, feeling around for its pair, but I couldn't find it in there. I couldn't find it on there or anywhere else in the room. I'm pretty sure I went to look for the other staff right then, wanting to show them this beautiful candlestick and to ask if they had seen the other one. I thought it would be good to put them out on display. The first person I came across was a girl we'll call Megan. I showed it to her excitedly, asking if she'd seen the other one, but she just raised her eyebrows and said it was creepy and to chuck it out. I argued that it just needed to be cleaned, and I ended up taking it to the bathroom, washing off all the cobwebs and the rusty stuff, which luckily washed off without any difficulty. I never did find the other one, but I found a candle for it and put it on display on the dining room table. Around this time, I started sleeping badly. It wasn't nightmares exactly. I just never woke up feeling rested. It was like the feeling you get right when you wake up, just after your dog dies or your heart gets broken. Damn, okay. It's a feeling of dread sinking in your stomach. Oh, waking up depressed. Okay, I know this feeling.
Heavy morning. Okay.
Yeah, we've been there. There.
those analogies seemed really
really jumped to extremes, but you know.
But hey, I mean, everybody has different. You could have just said really heavy morning.
Really heavy morning, but it's okay. Yep. It's a feeling of dread sinking in your stomach just for a second, knowing something is wrong, waiting the memory to hit again. But it never did. And I never knew why I felt that way. It was just something I went through every morning. I don't remember now if it was the next morning or a few days later, but I went to put out the breakfast and the candlestick wasn't on the table anymore. I didn't think anything of it. People get drunk on Bourbon Street, come back late, and do weird things. I found it under the table. I put it back where it was. Next day, though, it had moved again. And this time, I found it on the other side of the room, and strangely, the rusty substance was there again, creeping slowly back up the base of the candlestick. A few days later, it had moved again, and I had spent a good amount of time searching for it. I was already in a bad mood that morning because of something that had happened the night before. I wanted to go and see a friend's jazz band that evening and asked if someone could switch shifts with me. I'd switched shifts as a favor to them more times than I could count. Most people like to go out in the evening in New Orleans to enjoy the nightlife. Sorry. Thought I heard something. I'm already getting jumpy. Wow. Okay, this is not even scary. This is not even scary yet. I don't know why I'm getting scared. Okay.
Fine, you have your cats.
It's because my door. Well, I don't know where my cats are. It's because my door is like cracked. You know, like there's like a little sliver of darkness.
Me.
I'm just gonna shut it real quick. Just so I'm not worried about it. Also, I found one of my cats. One of my cats is on the cat tree, so that makes me feel better. If they start meowing at nothing, then I'm gonna get scared again. Okay.
See, my cat, he's very, 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 very sensitive to things, and he just opened doors. So if he needs to get in here, he'll get in here.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. Okay. I'd switched shifts as a favor to them more times than I could count. Most people like to go out in the evening in New Orleans to enjoy the nightlife, but I was studying on the side, enjoyed the quieter nighttime shifts where I could sometimes read a little, and would often stay at the desk at the end of the shift to study in peace and quiet. But I didn't understand why it was that the one time I asked to go out in the evening, everyone avoided my eyes and just shuffled awkwardly. Why were they being so selfish when I asked for them to switch with me? After what happened to me later, I have an idea why they didn't want to be alone there after dark. Okay. Now we're getting to the juicy bits, I feel like. Okay. I'm just gonna...
Me.
For just those that are listening auditorily, I just took my phone off my ear. I just want to be able to hear my surroundings. That's it. That's it. Don't worry about it.
Like one ear is always.
I'm not paranoid. I'm not paranoid. You guys are paranoid. What the fuck?
I'm just a cat parent.
I'm literally. I want to know if my baby's meowing at the door.
Yeah. See, exactly. I want to know if he's hungry.
Exactly. Okay. Anyway, on this morning, I was looking for the candlestick. I didn't blame party goers anymore and had a good idea who kept moving it. A few nights ago, I'd come up from the evening shift to the kitchen. It was dark, all the lights were off, and I'd come into the living room. I'd glimpsed Megan standing there looking at it, even though I saw her from behind it. I knew it was her. She was the only girl with long, dark hair. Oh, God, not a girl with long, dark hair.
Not long, dark hair, you say?
Oh, my God, iconic.
Lucky someone said when I was like younger and like I was sick. And like I showed up because I had to be there and my hair was not done. They were just like, "You look like the girl from The Ring," and that stuck with me.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn. The girl from The Ring, but make it cunty.
Exactly. Low-key though, the girl from The Ring, like she was just misunderstood.
Literally. She just, honestly,
she was scared. Like she came out of the TV and then
everyone was yelling. It's like, come on,
exactly.
guys.
So like,
warm welcome.
She was just
warm welcome, please.
It was self-defense.
It was self-defense. Exactly. Okay. Okay, there. Even though I only saw her from behind, I knew it was her. She was the only girl here with long dark hair, and she'd said the candlestick was creepy the very first time she'd seen it. I found it again, this time shoved in the bottom of the storage closet, and when I saw Megan, I confronted her, telling her to stop moving the candlestick. She said she didn't. I was holding it in my hand and felt this consuming rage flow through me. Honestly, a kind of anger way out of proportion for what was happening. It was just for a second, and I came to my senses. She was looking at me with wide eyes. I put the candlestick back on the table. After that, I kept seeing the candlestick in the dining room, and I felt a little embarrassed about almost losing my temper with Megan. I didn't know why she'd lied about moving it, but I pride myself on being professional, and I didn't feel good about what had happened. I felt guilty every time I looked at it. One day while cleaning, I randomly moved it into room 4, where I wouldn't walk past it several times a day. I didn't plan on keeping it there, but that room wasn't going to be occupied for a few days. A little while after this, something else happened. One night, I'd finished the evening shift and began studying at the front desk. It was just after 1 a.m. when I heard footsteps in the corridor behind me. I recognized the woman who came into the lobby. She was staying upstairs in one of the dormitories. Due to a missed flight, a party of 4 who were due to stay at that dormitory had not arrived. They they had phoned earlier telling me they had decided to stay in Fort Lauderdale another week and wanted to reschedule their whole stay. So this lady was staying alone in what I think was a 5-bedroom dormitory. 5-bed dormitory. When I saw her, her hair was messed up and she looked really tired, so I was immediately concerned. I think I asked her if everything was all right, and she asked me if she could check on the person in the room next to hers because they seemed like they had been crying for hours. She hadn't been able to sleep because of the noise, and I was pretty worried that the person in there was not doing okay. So I followed her upstairs and knocked on the door where she had heard the crying, taking my keys with me in case I needed to let myself into the room. Next to hers was one of the dormitories. It had 8 or so beds, but tonight there were only a couple girls staying there. I stopped outside and raised my hand to knock on the door when she stopped me. She said the crying had been coming from the room opposite of her, room 4. Now, I had assumed she meant the dormitory because that room was occupied. Room 4 was not. I told her this, but she seemed certain that the crying had been coming from that room. Right then, there was nothing other than silence and the creaking of the old house. I tried to reassure her that the noise she heard was probably one from the hostel's cats or another animal. I'd heard that there's a kind of swamp rat in Louisiana that can sound like a baby crying. That's a fey, bitch. Sorry. That is a skinny. And we know it.
A swamp rat?
A swamp rat sounds like a baby crying, bitch.
Girl,
no.
listen.
That is a fantasy creature, bitch.
All rats sound the same. Most rodents sound the same. A mouse and a rat sound the same. Low-key, a capybara kind of sounds like a rat.
There's a hole in my blind because of my cats that I need to replace. So... He has a knife.
Is that a chef goose?
Yeah. Oh, that's
the right one to pick.
Behind me, and I'm gonna get fucking terrified. Hold on, we need one that's a little sturdier.
Me.
Foxy! Oh, that's not tall enough. What's tall enough?
Maybe the corgi, and you can like put the corgi like up without staring.
Right, you're so right. Don't fall now, or else I'm gonna scream.
Okay.
Here, wait. I'm going through so intense lengths. I'm a scaredy cat, okay? Okay, there. It shouldn't.
Yeah, there we go.
Because it's evenly weight distributed. Okay. We have a Foxy plush and a Corgi plush to keep me safe from the goons outside.
I have an elf.
Purr! Oh my god, you have a whole army.
I know. I also have a rat king. Oh, it's a mouse king.
Oh my god, purr. Nutcracker queen.
I know.
Okay. Now I'm ready. Because the thing, okay, I have sneak peek behind the scenes. I have Discord, I have OBS, and then I have the story. And I kept seeing the darkness behind me out of my peripheral. And I
just see the darkness this way and like low.
Girl, you are in a dark room. I don't understand how you're unfazed. We're opposites when it comes to horror stuff.
Like, I love creepy crawly shit, and I always have.
I like the idea of it.
It's never fazed me. Like, if I get scared about something, worry about it.
Oh yeah, we're dead at that point.
I'm like,
we're dead at that point.
Yeah, like there's some things I don't go to haunted hospitals. Just don't do it. I'll go to like a haunted school, a haunted house, those things, a haunted graveyard, that's fine. But like a haunted hospital? No.
No.
Or church. Those two don't do. Jail cells, low key. It's a hit or miss. Depending like locational. But yeah, no, I'm just chilling with it.
Okay. Well, okay. It's a good thing you're reading the other one, so I can just like bundle up in a cocoon. Yeah. Okay. Where was I? Okay.
I think this is gonna be worse now.
It has so much lead up that I'm like, okay. okay, what's gonna happen? Okay. She seemed certain that the crying had been coming from that room. Right then, there was nothing other than silence and the creaking of the old house. I assured her that the noise she probably heard was one of the hostel's cats or another animal. I'd heard that there's a kind of swamp rat in Louisiana that sounds like a baby crying, and I've heard foxes in the woods before that sound like a woman being murdered. That is true. Coyotes and foxes, awful noises that they make.
I like fox chittering is kind of cute.
Oh, fox chittering? Iconic. But like howls from a fox?
No.
Sounds like a woman screaming.
Honestly, fox should leave the howling to like dogs and wolves.
They should. They're not good at it. Sorry.
They got confused. They're like, you know what? We're gonna be kind of like a cat, but
Also try to be a wolf.
we're gonna be like dog.
Yeah, it's like, pick a lane, buddy.
No,
I'm sorry.
just stick to cat. You're better at that.
Honestly, foxes are so cute.
See?
And then they scream and they sound like dying animals. But anyways. I'm no stranger to unsettling sounds wild animals can make. But to put her mind at ease, I decided to check room 4. I opened the door and switched on the light. No one was there. I gave her my reassurances and she went back to her room. Something else had caught my eye though. The lampshade on the far side of the bed was torn and something was on the pillow. Oh God. I walked around the bed and saw what had happened. On the pillow were some small shards of broken glass, and on the floor was the candlestick. Bitch. It was as if it had been thrown across the room at the lamp, torn through the fabric of the lampshade, and smashed the light bulb. Something I probably should have mentioned. Megan had returned to her home country, her home county, before I took the candlestick in this room. I had a bad feeling right then that it had never been her moving it. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, brother, ooh. I didn't see much of that woman over the next couple of days, up until one morning I was working reception. I heard the sound of suitcase wheels and quick footsteps coming down the tile corridor. It was her. She's getting her shit out of there. She's like, I gotta go.
Honestly though, like my thing is like night 1, I would have been gone. I low-key wouldn't have even stayed in a hostel.
Yeah, because okay, here's the thing. As a girly pop, I don't want to be in a place where there's a bunch of other people sleeping. Nothing against hostels, just my own personal well-being of a woman. If I was traveling by myself, on top of it,
it is unsafe if you are by yourself. But then again, there's like a lot of things with like high traffic can be unsafe. For like high turnover traffic, I should say.
Yeah. If you guys have ever stayed at a hostel, let me know your experience, because I'm actually kind of curious, because I've never stayed at a hostel. I've heard good things about a lot of hostels though that are like very like they have really good security, that they feel more safe because it's like you're never alone with just like another person or like a bunch of people that you like don't have any interaction with before the night. But I've also heard bad stories about hostels, so it's like, let us know.
I've heard more bad than good, but yeah.
It depends on the country, I've realized. Like American hostels, really hit or miss. But like, I've heard of some hostels in like Asian countries that are like way safer, which, But anyways. I heard the sound of suitcase wheels and quick footsteps coming down the tile corridor. It was her, the woman who had heard the crying, saying she wanted to check out. She still had 3 nights left on her reservation, so I asked lightly if there had been a change of plans. She then shook her head, and then I looked at her face. She looked pale, with dark circles under her eyes, as if she hadn't been sleeping. I tried asking if there would have been a problem with the room or anything we could do to help her enjoy her stay, and she shoved the keys at me and was gone. Once she left, I went up to her room. I wondered what had made her act so weird. I checked all over the room, but I never found it. A few days later, room 4 was booked, and I meant to take the candlestick back to the dining room. Instead, I put it in the cleaning caddy, forgot about it, and it made its way downstairs with me. Rather than take it back upstairs, I decided to take it to my room and return it to its spot tomorrow. Something happened that night that almost made me leave the hostel. Oh God. Okay. Okay. Even writing this makes me feel uncomfortable. I woke up that night to the sounds of someone moving around my room. Ugh! Ah! Sorry. I hate like waking up to scary shit because I've like had I've never had like a sleep paralysis demon type of situation, but I've had like I wake up and I see shit and I'm not like I can move, but it looks real to me until I move enough to wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like I've woken up and seen like one that felt the realest to me is I saw like a person standing across the room from me. Listen, you can think whatever you want about sleep paralysis stuff. I think it's actually ghosts. I think it's actually ghosts.
Sorry.
It's a ghost.
No, I think it's a gnat.
Yeah, probably.
No, I've had both. I've had both experiences where I can't move. Something scary is like looming there, and like it's even worse when it's like, because my bed's like close to the ground. And
Same.
like, a lot of beds, like hotels, are like really close to the ground, and like I would be like sleeping on my side and wake up and something's right there on the face.
Oh! Literally, that's my biggest fear. I sleep with the cover over my face for that reason. Like it actually, because my mom also has like had a lot of experiences where like she wakes up and something's standing over her.
Low key, it's been happening to me for so long that
you're just like, hi there.
No, I pinch my muscular wall of my rib cage by breathing in really sharp because my helps you like and so up. It just
damn
shock my system.
Adapt, evolve.
Because you can like still breathe normally in those situations.
Yeah.
You can still control your breathing, but you can't control like your phalanges. So muscular wall, nervous system, like that, it hurts.
Damn.
Like, you're shocked awake. So
yeah, I mean, I'd rather be able to move, you know?
Yeah.
Because I've only had like sleep paralysis once where like I was awake and I could not move, but I didn't see anything, thankfully. I just like couldn't move my body, and it happens a lot when I'm like super stressed out. I just like wake up and I can't move for a while and I'm like trying to desperately move and I sometimes like I can feel my hands slowly moving and that's the worst. Just like when I'm like, come on, just keep moving. I'm just like, dude.
I will say this, and this is advice for anyone who has like really bad sleep paralysis. Think about peeing.
Gotcha.
It
Try to
work.
Piss your pants. Actually, piss on the demon. It'll work every time.
No, it does work because if you try and do focus on natural movements that your body doesn't really have to think about, such as breathing or using its natural. Yeah. So, whereas this is an active brainwave pattern, breathing is more subconscious. So
yeah.
That's kind of that. Yeah, no, there's been some times recently as I'm older where I either see something or see something brief enough. I roll over and go back to bed because I'm so exhausted.
Holy shit. See, I've experienced it less recently. I think the more stressed I was, the more I would see it. I also, because I am like semi-spiritual, like I'm not a skeptic, but I'm not like I 100% think it exists. I'm like, I'm open to like if it exists or not. But I do say like, okay, if there's anything here, don't fucking show yourself or else you're not allowed to be here. You know, like I get nervous. Please don't show yourself.
Oh, nothing's allowed to be here for me.
Me.
Nothing like leave the fuck
if it's like a little ghosty, like if it's just like a little ghosty that's just like, hi, I'm your fucking ancestor, then I'm like, okay, chill, just don't fucking like tell me you're here. But you can like be here. But like I don't let bitches do shit around me though. Like if like I see someone, I'll stop everything. I'll go get my fucking salt and I'll be like, bitch, I'm not okay with this. I get really nervous. Please don't show yourself or else you're not allowed to be here. I respect you and I respect that this might have been your place way before it was mine. But please.
That's why I have to live in new architecture. Like long-term live in new architecture.
I hope you want like, you know the paranormal, the supernatural episode where like they build that new housing development on like a bug, like the bugs are attacking because it's burial ground.
That's why I have to do research on land and like development and stuff before like I'm like, oh yeah, let's live here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, as of recent, like nothing really scary has been happening, and I
That's
low-key
good.
honestly think it's because I've been so exhausted. I'm a sleepy girl. I sleep. If I could, I would sleep like 20 hours a day.
Honestly.
I would be up for 4, enough to like drink and shower and like eat some food, like that.
Damn. Sleeping Beauty, IRL.
Anyways, I
Okay.
know.
Where was I?
Candle, bedroom, walking around.
Oh yeah,
Minute.
someone moving in my bedroom. I woke up that night. The sound of someone moving around my bedroom. I was still half asleep and I thought I was dreaming, but in a way I can't describe. I knew something that those noises were coming from, weren't coming from inside my mind. Like they knew that the noises were in real life, not in a dream. They were coming from somewhere in the room. I heard footsteps rustling, and then finally, the feeling of someone or something sitting on the bed. I hate that. I remember the weight of it, the way it depressed the mattress, and somehow, whatever it was wasn't human. I kept as still as I could, but my heart was beating so hard. I was sure that whatever it was would hear it. It seemed to sit there for a long time while I lay there, too afraid to move, my every nerve attuned to it. After a time, I felt the bed move again and it was gone. I never heard the door open or close. Okay, here's my skeptic side coming out. You're in a hostel.
Yeah.
There could have been a creepy person. It's New Orleans in the middle of the night. I'm sorry. I love New Orleans.
Also, if like they talk about like inhuman movements and stuff, it could be someone on drugs.
That's what I'm saying. Like they got into that room, they sat down, they were staring at her while she was sleeping, and then they left. But maybe it's a ghost. Listen, listen, people on drugs feel paranormal. They really do. Like people
they
on
do,
bath
and
salts.
also they look like
possessed.
they look unhuman.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy what substance abuse can do to a human.
Especially in New Orleans.
New Orleans is yeah. There's a lot of homelessness in New Orleans. There's a lot of drug abuse in New Orleans, and I love New Orleans. This is coming from a girl who loves New Orleans. But there's certain parts of New Orleans that people go to that may not be just there to have a little bit of fun. They're there to have
the French
a lot of fun.
Of New Orleans is like not the safest.
French Quarter is literally like the party place. Like that's where everyone's getting drunk, getting high, all that jazz. From my experience, at least.
I wouldn't put it past it.
Yeah.
Because like I have family in Louisiana, New Orleans.
Same.
And so it's like, have like a little bit of experience with that. But yeah, I could have been a ghost, but also wouldn't put it past it being
now if your door was locked. Which
she
probably does lock her door because she works in a hostel. She probably does lock her door.
If the door was locked, or like the front door locks at a certain time and you have to be back by then.
Even if this was a human, that's terrifying all the same.
Oh, low-key.
Even more terrifying to me.
Is more terrifying than a ghost.
A ghost just gonna spook you, maybe possess you. You don't know what a person's gonna do to you. It's like the whole like bear versus man argument. It's like, well, we know the bear's just gonna kill us.
Yeah.
Human minds are crazy. And a bear will
make it like relatively quick.
Exactly.
So
listen, I'm not saying that like all men are worse than bears. I'm just saying that like statistically, I know the bear's just gonna kill me.
I would choose Halson.
Halson's a 2-for-1 special.
That's what I'm saying. You get bear and
he's
man.
A gentleman and he's a bear.
Yep.
So it's the best of both, honestly.
His personality low-key reminds me of a personality from like the Berenstain Bears, but rated R.
That's a good way of putting it. The Berenstain Bears XXX.
Yep. That's probably a title out there of some porn video.
Oh no. Oh god.
Anyways, continue. I'm trying to lighten the mood here.
Yeah, we are
You're the
trying to lighten the
better
mood
person.
here because I am a scaredy cat. That's why I said the whole skeptic thing. Do I believe this was a ghost? Yes. But I have to say, it was probably just a human to make myself feel
Yeah.
better. You know? Still terrifying. Don't get me wrong, though. Also, Megan might have been moving the candlestick. See, it being thrown at the lampshade, that I can't explain.
Yeah.
That I'm like, even if I'm trying to have a skeptic mindset, it's like that room was locked
Also,
and no one was in there.
there was a lot of like
And like hearing crying coming from there, like that kind of shit.
supernatural stuff that happened
Yeah.
in Louisiana,
Oh,
like in the old
100%.
days.
Hoodoo
So
voodoo.
like, yeah, so
There's
like, and
witches
not
there.
necessarily
It's so cool.
everything. Yeah, not necessarily everything there is friendly or good,
Mm-hmm.
natured, especially because a lot of,
A lot of different types of magic that
yeah.
were practiced.
So it could have been that
Someone was summoned
an
through that
evil,
candlestick and
yeah,
got kind
or
of.
if that could be its item, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't like anyone touching its item. So there could be a lot of different.
Yeah, they kept putting it on the fucking dining room table. They were like, "This is not where it goes." They kept moving it over and over again, and then finally
Those
they put
can
it in a
just
room. They're like, "Fucking bitch!" and they just throw it. That's
It's like
honestly
we want to go
probably what
back
it
on
was.
the bookshelf. We
It's
like
like,
the bookshelf.
bitch, we were on there for years, and then you
Low
had to
key
come
though,
along
it
and
could have
move
been the
me.
views. It could have been the view.
It's like I get a view of
Because if you
everyone. They're
think
like
about
sitting
it,
up there like a fucking gargoyle, just like.
yeah, no, if you think about it, like if you're up at like a high point, like a vantage point, and
Mm-hmm.
suddenly you're put on a table,
Bitch, it's like a cat. It's like they're gonna want to be at the highest point in the room.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways.
But anyways, regardless, whatever this is, aggressive as fuck. And
Uh-huh.
personally me,
Personally me.
personally me, unexplained crying about something that already moves a little funky,
Uh-huh.
I would have been gone.
The moment I saw the candlestick broke the lampshade, I would have quit.
The moment
And I would have
this
told
happened to
that
me,
woman to leave. I would have been like, girly pop, this shit haunted. You need to
yeah.
go.
And this has happened to me before. We actually are planning a true scary story for our own personal experiences. So I won't
Yes.
go into too much detail here, but um, I was at a creepy what is it? What are they called? Catacombs in
Oh shit.
Europe, and I was like pretty far away from the group. And I was walking because I was injured at the time. We were dancing and stuff there, so I was injured. And I was walking, and there was a lot of like I felt cold, and I was like, okay, maybe it's my sweat drying down. Gross, I know, but
You know, little breeze, I'm sweaty.
yeah.
Gonna happen.
And then I felt like a breath like on me because I
My
had like
AC just
exposed
started
ears.
right as you said that. I got so fucking scared.
Good timing.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that. Anyways.
But yeah, and then I had the feeling of somebody watching me the entire time we were down there.
Mm.
And see, that's my thing. I grew up with a lot of paranormal spooky stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We both did.
As long as it doesn't feel threatening immediately and it's too close, I ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it there. I don't want anything there, but I just ignore it because it's like, okay.
Yeah.
My peace of mind, everyone else's around me peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I know there was also times I was staying at a haunted university for dorming.
Mm-hmm.
I was by myself in a room. Low key, listen, y'all.
You would FaceTime me a lot in that room.
Yeah.
You'd be like, girl.
All I have to say is that if you hear something in the shower and you know you're the only one in that room, girl, go back to bed. Go back to bed.
Go back to bed.
Don't get up.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Advice.
Honestly, yeah, no. Okay, anyways.
Go to sleep.
Girl,
Take
the
a
way we're
melatonin.
already to 50 minutes on this episode. This is a long ass fucking episode.
We're just yapping.
We're yapping, and that's okay. And that's okay. Honestly, we could just do a part 2 if you wanted to do just the New Orleans story in this one and then do the other ones in another part, possibly.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Then we'll do that. That way, like, we're not gonna have like a 3-hour long episode. Because we're almost to the end ish.
Okay.
Like, we're over the halfway point at least.
Okay, no more interruptions with this one.
No more interruptions. I'm also gonna read at a good pace, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, where was I? Okay. After a time, I felt the bed move again and it was gone. I never heard the door open or close. I remember lying there for a long time, the covers pulled over my head, hearing my heart beating against the mattress, sounding like footsteps, too terrified to move. It was after this I started looking into leaving New Orleans. I slept with the lights on and only a kind of twitching, nervous half sleep at that. My heart was always beating too fast and too hard in my chest. The lack of sleep wasn't helping. I knew, but and the lack of sleep wasn't helping, I know, but I was too afraid to sleep. I felt constantly like there was someone behind me. I kept imagining footsteps coming down the corridor. One morning, another staff member went to start their shift and the keys were gone. This irritated me because there were 3 sets when I'd finished my shift the night before. I can't explain why this angered me so much, but it did. I'm not usually quick to anger, but I just felt that rage building inside me again and a sense of being so deeply wronged. Ooh, this feels like a trickster spirit to me. I don't know if you know the lore of like trickster spirits and stuff, but like spirits that literally they just want they want chaos. Does that make sense?
Or I don't know, it could also just be a very
sorry, I know we weren't supposed to
yeah, no, a very aggressive, angry spirit. Because I know that sometimes if you believe or not, take it grain of salt. I have a lot of family members that voodoo was it still is kind of their shit. And it's a very, 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 very extended family. But they are very much like, you don't touch items, you don't interact with items, because then they can
kind of leech
influence
on
you.
Yeah.
And it sounds like this is just a very, I would say like the close thing is like just demonic, angry, vindictive spirit.
It gives me the same like energy as when Film Cooper went to that graveyard and was talking underneath that tree to that demon.
I wish he did more of those.
Honestly, I wish it would have performed better, because that's the only reason he hasn't done it again, is because it didn't perform as well as his other stuff. And I'm like, dude, it performed good enough. Please.
It performed good enough, please. Maybe a second channel.
That'd be very demure, very mindful.
Giving him ideas. He doesn't know who the fuck we are, but
he doesn't.
Please.
I think we could get him on the podcast one day.
Okay, but his fiance is
she's so cute,
so iconic.
I know. She's so
and her
cute.
Hair. I want to know her hair care routine.
She's and I literally Barbie.
Looking for her hair care routine. She has not fucking posted anything about any product she's ever used.
Does she have like a YouTube channel, like a vlogging channel or anything? Or she just like on Instagram and stuff?
Instagram.
Yeah. Because I feel like she would just do so cute with like girly vlogs. I feel like she could do that so well. But if that's not what her heart is, that's okay.
I want to know her clothes. Like,
I would obsessively watch like her like closet reorganization, like OOTDs, like kind of like old school like girly vlogs, you know what I'm saying?
Or even her like, because she has like a whole like fitness flexibility journey. Like, girl, me too.
I would love that. Girl, I'm trying to get my splits back after a long time. I've been exercising, like hardcore exercising, like almost every single day for about a week now, and I feel so good. Like I can do a squat without my knees hurting, and that was like a big thing for me. Knee issues run in my family, and so like that's something that, because I haven't done dance in so long, like started catching up with me more and more as I've gotten older and less fit. And I can do a squat now. I can do many squats now without my knees hurting. And that's like a big thing for me. And now I'm trying to get my splits.
I'm proud of you.
Anyways, a little lighthearted trinket in there. I'm so sorry if you guys are like really annoyed by us like yapping in the middle.
We'll do better. We'll do better
in the future. But this is just we're adjusting.
Yeah.
To reading this long of stories. We've never read this long of a story. I'm gonna be honest.
Our attention span is quite short.
It is. It's okay. Anyways, looking back, I'm pretty sure no one made any accusations against me or anyone else, but I just felt everyone was accusing me of having lost them because I was on shift the previous night. I started demanding to view the cameras to see who had taken the keys. I think everyone just wanted me to calm down. So the manager went and got the laptop and brought up the video feed. We found last night's footage. There was me getting everything done, 3 sets of keys hanging up, me turning off the light and leaving. We started skipping through the footage until we saw the door open again at 1:33 a.m. That's when I saw the worst thing I'd ever seen. Myself. I just got chills. I saw myself enter the lobby, take the key off the wall, and head down the corridor. Here's a sick horror I can't describe in seeing yourself doing something you have no memory doing. Realizing your own body isn't something you're in control of. I think I apologized. I really hope I did. I left the same day. I'd never sleptwalked before, and I have no explanation for what happened. Thankfully, since I left, I haven't had anything weird happen. Sorry, I had to take like a little... I'd been like holding my breath for a second there. I've been able to move on with my life and think about it less and less. But sometimes I can still see that video in my mind's eye. And I feel the sensation of the mattress sinking as whatever it was sat watching me. Me too, girl. New Orleans is amazing.
No, my cat is like pacing. But...
Which, girl, cats are protectors.
Low-key, my cat, we have like a love-hate relationship.
So she's
me when I need him.
He's occasionally like, actually, you know what, Ghost? Fuck her up.
Yep. No, sometimes my cat's like, oh my gosh, I want to help.
Oh my God.
And then other times, you fed me 20 seconds late.
What if I'm 20 seconds late to saving you from a demon, Mom?
Yep.
Okay. New Orleans is amazing, and the house was beautiful. But whatever happened to me was the most terrifying experience of my life. And that's the end. Ooh, okay.
I think we kind of have yapped our opinions about that throughout.
We really did. We really did. We did not hold back during the entire story. Wow. But it's so long that I'm kind of glad we yapped in the middle because like we probably would have forgotten a lot of the points.
I have short-term memory sometimes.
Same. Wow. Okay. So first and foremost, the things that I'm like, okay, this could have been is like mimic spirits or something that like a lot of people believe in. But also a trickster spirit can take on the appearance of someone else, or it literally was like making them do it, which that's even scarier in my opinion than just like an entity pretending to be me.
Well, because that's also another thing is some people are very susceptible to spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And so she could have just been incredibly. Also, it could have been like she was sleep deprived or already like anxious about it, which
I mean, she hadn't been sleeping well for days, so she genuinely might have been sleepwalking because she was so stressed, and like it might have been influenced by supernatural, and might have not been. Like it's
and also
up
it
to you
could
guys'
have been
interpretation.
her routine. Because like her
True.
routine might have been like getting up, going to get the
Do you
keys,
ever have dreams where you wake up and do your routine and then you actually wake up and it's actually morning?
Girl, I don't want to do chores in my sleep.
Because like sometimes I'll dream that I'm already awake and I'll like think I'm awake and then I'll go through my morning routine and then I'll actually wake up and I'll be like, bitch, I already did all this. The fuck? And it'll like piss me the fuck off. But maybe that's what happened is like she dreamt she was doing her routine, but she actually was doing it because she was like sleepwalking. I don't know.
I only sleptwalked, I think is the correct like.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I'm not an English major.
Neither am I. I almost was. But I went and said, no.
Could have never.
Anyway, loan's not coming out of my bank account one day.
Me.
Girl, but all respect to you.
Yeah, no, honestly, like my loan is not as bad for 2 degrees. You're
getting 2 degrees, girl. Like you're literally girl boss.
Yeah.
You're literally.
It's not as bad. It's not as bad for 2 degrees.
2.1 special.
Plus, like all the resume building I'm already doing.
A BOGO,
so
some would
it's
say.
Like, I know. But no, what I was gonna say was, I sleepwalked when I was like once when I was like 8 years old, and my ass went to the fridge.
Me, bitch. There's people that like sleep bingy. It's actually kind of like
Yeah,
whoa.
I've like seen that. Like I know them older, but I was like 8 years old, and I really was
Me.
not on the internet at that point. It was like early days YouTube where there wasn't a lot of content. Like I was watching Diabolic Lovers on YouTube. Um, so that was
Mhm.
my circle of entertainment, or playing Pop Topica, Webkins, or Purple.
We were talking all about that before
We
we
were
started
talking-
filming, girl.
Okay, if anybody knows what Purple is, first off, I love you platonically. Second off, you had the best taste in games.
Mhm. Mhm.
Also, Leapfrog. Anyone who played Leapfrog?
Yeah.
Leapfrog games?
We pro
Or like has
kids
like a little like
forever.
Leapfrog I guess like Game Boy kind of thing.
Yeah.
I really like that. But yeah, I only
Girl.
slept walk once, but that could have explained it, and it could have been a tweaker sitting on the bed.
Could
So
have been a tweaker.
listen,
The only thing that's like literally like, I can't describe, I can't figure out if what that was is the throwing the
which genuinely that
candlestick.
could have been somebody in the room
Do you think they
early
hid
on.
before they opened it? Because it was locked,
Yeah, I mean it could have been
like a
that.
squatter.
Yeah, because like
It's possible. That's
that's the thing with
possible.
hostels, and it kind of sounded like there's not like a front door lock because it sounds like they can just come
There,
and go.
they
Because
said they
in the
had a specific
story,
type of lock that like it was like one of the spooky things at the very beginning of the story. I think they said
mhm,
that would randomly unlock and relock. So like it was like a weird like it would I don't know what type of
yeah, but
lock
it
they were
sounds
talking
like
about,
it
but
might have not been like locked,
maybe
like might have intentionally locked. So a squatter could have gone in there and
mayhaps
is only active at like night,
crying
druggy.
their eyes out and then throwing a candlestick. Honestly,
I mean,
maybe.
erratic. I mean, you know what? I would throw a candlestick too. Like in the movies, like those like really like Southern Belle movies where it's like a big breakup because she found out her husband's cheating and she like throws the
Yes. Which
candlestick.
that could have been the type of ghost it was. Is literally like a mourning ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just like
Yeah.
they're angry and they that anger spread to the person that had interacted with them the most.
Yeah.
Anyways, but that's just our
Anyways.
take. Let us know what you guys think of this story.
Our story. This is
Yeah.
like our opinions.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Also, tell us how you like this kind of dynamic. If you guys just want us to kind of minimize our gap and just read through the story, or if you don't mind us jumping in and
Yeah.
inserting our thoughts throughout.
It was
If you guys
really
like that, but
long.
it was a very long
So,
story. We have like normally this one I would say is like an extra long story.
oh yeah, I didn't realize how long it would take to go through it until I was like reading it and I was a quarter of the way through and I was like, ooh. Because we are now at the like 1 hour 3 minutes mark.
Yeah.
We started at like 15 minutes in, I think. We actually started reading the
Hmm.
story. So that was a solid 45-minute story.
Yeah.
That's
Which
wild.
honestly, your storytelling is really good. Who wrote this? Yeah,
Yeah,
when you're
their
reading
storytelling
it,
is
it's
really
really
good.
I really
Good
enjoyed it.
author, honestly. I wanted the author notes of like, tee I'm in the hospital. I actually got thrown across the room at a lampshade.
No, it's like the Wattpad writers. I'm like,
That's what I'm saying.
so I'm possessed. So guys,
So guys, I'm literally possessed right now while I'm writing this. I think I might be going crazy, or there's a ghost that's possessing me.
yeah,
Girl, me,
I
I
love old-fashioned Wattpad, the old days.
literally the days. Oh, and like Tumblr. Okay, Tumblr and Wattpad.
A
Those
love child.
together,
Yeah.
just like that made 13-year-old, not even 13-year-old me. I like
I will
10-year-old
say
me.
this. I
For
was
better or
so
for
much more
worse.
innocent just reading Wattpad before I found Tumblr fanfiction.
Uh-huh.
Um, we also did a episode on that, guys. If
Girl, we
you
have
are
so many episodes at this point. Like, what the hell? Like, look at us go. Also, guys, you loved our last Reddit video. Holy
curious,
crap.
thank you.
Or like the one
Thank you.
before it. The last one that came out for us. It surpassed 1,000 views,
It's
which is
really
like the
good.
most views we've ever gotten on an episode. So like,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
I think honestly, they like it. Speaking for you guys, sorry, correct me if I'm
Let me
wrong.
speak on your behalf, actually.
I think they like it because it is like background noise.
Girl, I literally listened
Like
to
it
that
really is
episode
like a
because I was like,
traditional like
what's different about this episode? And I
yeah.
will say, our yapping at the beginning was like peak yapping at the beginning. And I think that really caught some people's attention. I don't know. Maybe that's just my main character syndrome. Who knows?
Maybe it's just because like everyone's obsessed with me. They're not.
Maybe
That's
actually everyone
purely
loves us so much and wants to be us.
honestly okay. That the living in Delulu, romanticizing your life. We have an episode on that too.
Oh my god, girl, you're so good at that. Look at you go.
We just have everything at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and make sure to rate us 5 stars if you're on any podcast streaming platforms besides Apple. So sorry. And make sure to follow on Instagram for more updates and interaction.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Bye.